101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com, 8:12 in the morning. Mike McDermott is with us from ICTC. It's good to have him in the studio with us once more, and our visit this morning is presented by Marcus & Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 4 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Good morning.
Good morning, Todd. Great to be here.
Good to have you back with us here today. Last month on the program, we had Philip Martell from River Valley who spent some time on the air, and one of the things that he was talking about was the comparison of the welding program offered at their academy and the welding program at ICTC, and you wanted to respond to that because some of the information might have been confusing to some, might have been actually wrong, and we just wanted to clarify and find out exactly what is the situation with the welding program at ICTC. And whatever River Valley is doing with their STEAM Academy is a whole separate thing. So let's visit on that first.
Absolutely. That's all. I heard the broadcast, and it was mentioned that ICTC, we can only serve a limited amount of students in our welding program, and students that wish to participate, may not have the opportunity. And that's inaccurate at this point in time. We've expanded our welding program. We actually have two separate areas where we have students receiving instructions. So we're able to meet the needs of our sending schools because the demand for welding instruction was or is very high. Mm-hmm. And at one point in time, we were putting students on a wait list for welding because the demand was so high, and our ability to occupy our program area safely in the welding program was limited to a number of students. So the sending school superintendents and our joint operating committee decided, hey, it's time to meet that need and demand and expand our welding program and open up opportunities for those students that wanted to receive that instruction. So I didn't want there to be a misconception out there that if your student wanted to receive welding instruction, that we couldn't accommodate that at ICTC. That's just not the case.
There's ample opportunity for welding students.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You also, correct me if I'm wrong, the adult education programs at ICTC also offers welding, correct?
Correct. We have an evening adult education program that lasts, it's about a year in length, and they do so in the evenings. Once the sending school students leave our building, adult programming comes in behind them and utilizes our program area to educate and instruct and certify adult welders as well. Correct.
Yeah. It's interesting because we've had some of your welding students come in and bring some of the works that they've done. They get very artistic. I mean, that is a really intricate operation that they do. We might think of welders and think, okay, on a bridge you see the big heavy welds that look like big scars. That's not really what it's all about. Welding can be very, very finely tuned.
Oh, absolutely. There's many aspects of the welding profession. There's many materials that can be used in welding, and they all have their own unique technique and nuances to that. So we try to expose our students to a variety of experiences at ICTC. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of the time it comes down to what the students are intending their next step to be when they leave us at ICTC. So in other words, where do you intend to work? Where do you intend to seek employment? We have strong connections with businesses and industry, so we reach out to them to say, hey, what would you like us to have these students prepared for when they walk into your door to be able to perform well in your business or industry? And then we use our senior year to sort of fine-tune some of those skills.
Yeah, it's interesting because when a student comes to ICTC, they're very young in their educational experience, and they're heading toward their senior year. And so they come in at the beginning of a program, welding, for instance, and they might have, some might come in with welding experience already. Some might be brand new and not have an idea of where they want this to take them. And you get the chance to work with them over the course of a number of years of their education and help them to decide, what's what's the best fit for me?
That's right.
Where are my skills that I'm going to develop here in the welding program or some other program? Where are they going to lead me? And maybe one is more appealing than another area. And because of the working relationships you have with other businesses, they have the opportunity to actually take those skills into the work environment before they ever leave ICTC.
And that's a great opportunity that career and technical education provides. We not only go through the training, not only do we go through the certification, but we can go through our cooperative education and do some job placement and early experiences. So to allow the students to work within business and industry and see if it is exactly what they believed it would be, and see if we can create a good fit. And then we're spending a lot of time talking about welding specifically. If you ever want to go through an experience that's very impressive and yet sometimes maybe a little unnerving or unsettling, come up to ICTC and sit in on a class when they're introducing first-year students to mixing of the oxygen and acetylenes to ignite and light the torch for the first time, because there's a nuance to it. They have to balance the valve. And then you sit back and you think, as a building administrator, I think, golly gee, we're teaching, we're putting in the hands of 15 and 16-year-old students, very, dangerous and explosive gases. So how important that instruction is, and how important it is that they follow the proper procedure and they follow the safety rule. And then it works well. We walk them through that process so that they can become welders and do work on their own.
That supervision.
So it is incredible when you sit back to think, what it is that we're actually doing with those students and educating them through the course of that day and through the course of that 3-year period. Absolutely.
Do students come to ICTC? And again, we're talking with Mike McDermott, ICTC administrator. Do students come to ICTC with one idea and one course that they anticipate they're going to follow, and then something else jumps out at them and they say, I want to explore that too?
Absolutely.
That happens?
It happens. It happens many times. At the beginning of the year, especially for our first-year students, there's usually about a 2-week transition period where some of the students that wanted to come to ICTC, they get to ICTC and they go through the process and they think, this isn't quite what I thought it would be, and they transition back to the more academic world of the sending school. And then there's others that they get acclimated to ICTC in our process, and because we do a lot of crossing the aisle, so to speak, with our students. In other words, they're not necessarily isolated into the one program area all the time. They can go, we crisscross into different program areas depending upon the skill set that we're teaching or the certifications that we're presenting. And then a student may see something and say, oh, I never really thought of entering into that world or that realm. And then we do that at either a semester time or the beginning of a new year, and we'll transition them into that different program to give them the experience.
Yeah, and machining is one that just jumps out
Machining
at me.
is excellent, yes.
Probably a lot of kids don't even know what it is when they
That's right.
start. They get a little bit of exposure to it, and they say, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, we have a great relationship with our sending schools, especially in the junior high setting, because a majority of our sending schools participate in the BattleBots competition. So our machining instructor very wisely became involved with that group, and we invite those groups up to ICTC, and we encourage them, bring your BattleBot plans to us, and let's go over your plan. And in the machining world, this is how you believe your BattleBot will work and operate. And in the machining and manufacturing world, can we make all the parts and components and put them together in a manner that BattleBot will actually function? So then we build a relationship where we make some of the parts for the sending school's BattleBots, so they get to see that whole process from a stagnant block of metal to manufactured and machined into a part, and then that part actually being used and then operating.
Wow. Wow.
So we capture a lot of interest in that process.
That collaboration
Oh,
between
absolutely.
programs is really cool.
Oh, and it shows the relationship to the manufacturing to the actual mechanism itself.
Yeah, the world that we are talking about right now, the technical skills world that ICTC is involved in, is really fascinating and expanding probably quicker than most, if not all, other areas of our world right now.
Oh, absolutely. We always relate back. This isn't the old VOTEC of your parents' day, where it career and technical education at that time was used as a mechanism to provide alternative instruction and help students graduate and accumulate elective credit, and hopefully they could obtain some skills to maybe go work in the workforce and get hired by somebody. The world has changed. We focus a lot on obtaining certification. We stress to our students from day one when they walk through the door, hey, we want more for you. We want you to walk out of your high school experience at ICTC with as many certifications, as many skill sets that you possibly can have to make yourself more marketable and more viable. And those skills will never leave you. You'll always have them. And the market now in the workplace is that many of our students are preparing to graduate at their sending school and receive their diploma, but they have jobs lined up in their field already, and that's through that co-op experience and our relationship with employers, and they're ready to go.
Yeah.
So yes, the landscape has definitely changed.
A lot of them are already in it. People want to learn more about the scholastic area of welding or any other program. Their school guidance counselors going to help them with that. Adult education, of course, here comes summertime, and it becomes really, really big. People want to learn more about that. Website, is that the best resource?
Website will get you all of the contact information. We receive a majority of our inquiries just through an email. So on our website, you'll click the link of contact us, and it'll have info at ICTC. I actually receive those emails, and then I disseminate those emails to the proper personnel within the building.
Mike McDermott, ICTC. Thanks so much for the visit. Appreciate it.
No, it's always great to be here. Thank you.
It's Indiana in the Morning on WCCS. Hey, I'm going to be leaving now. I'm going to turn the program over to Josh. I'm headed out to United for the County Commissioner's proclamation in honor of the United basketball team. So have a wonderful weekend, won't you? Here's Westwood One Sports.